Since Ika is on quarantine with his whole family, he can't really feasibly record drums. But I can still, even though I'm rusty and I don't have the equipment necessary to make it sound really good. I'm going to try my best with what I got. Rather than make excuses, I'm going to go punk rock with it, and hopefully Ika's genius in production can make me sound better than I actually do. Alright, so here's how we're doing this. I have an old drum stand here that I'm draping the microphone over to get the bass drum. I have two pencil mics here. They're just cheap little Samson mics that I'm using for my snare drum, which I'm hoping my brother can bring his snare drum over because this has a hole in the head and does not sound that good. And it's all being fed through my Zoom field recorder that I'm also using as overhead mics. I have two brats over here watching me.
Hey, hold on. Subscribe to the Dewey channel, and that's just stupid.
There you go. That's good advice. So this is the setup I'm rocking. I'm not going to use that floor tom because it's getting in the way. I don't really need it anyway for this. Okay. I'm going to give this a practice run. This is another thing that's a little bit frustrating. I have to use my iPhone headphones instead of my studio headphones because the phone doesn't have a 3.5 jack anymore, which is dope. Thanks for taking that away from me, Apple. So they're not as loud. And also, I'm going to have to sync everything in post because it's going into that and not into my Ableton like my guitar does. So, let's give it a go. Something strange happened on this day. I was recording my drum parts to an as of now untitled Joy track when I finally started to get into the music. I must have recorded and then re-recorded my parts 10 or 11 times, each occurrence with more and more confidence as I thought, man, this is a whole skill I developed as a kid that I've completely squandered. I'm not sure if COVID has me going crazy or inspired or like a combination of the two, but we're gonna go for this today. But for right now, I gotta wait for my sister to come get her brats and bring me some AA batteries because I don't have any. Less than an hour later, I received a message from a friend about a drum set he had that he was looking to get rid of, and within a couple hours, I owned a drum set again for the first time in over a decade. It almost felt as if I'd manifested that into being or something. Like I put a request out into the ether and somebody nearby just happened to pick up on it or something. For the longest time, the only instrument I even owned was this old acoustic guitar. Back when I'd first given up on the idea of being a musician, I got rid of most of my other stuff. Entire drum sets, guitars, microphones, amplifiers, and anything else that I had accumulated in my lifetime. Back then, it kind of felt like a nice release, moving into the unknown and letting go of what I'd become familiar with. But I'd also be lying if I suggested that there wasn't a big part of me that regretted doing it. I always kept a guitar though, and I've had this one since my brother gave it to me in 2016. Erica maneuvered away for me to get my dream guitar for us to work together on an album, a Fender Telecaster. Ever since the day it arrived, I felt something shift within me, like I actively wanted to work on music again. And ever since that day, I have been pretty relentless in that pursuit, and things keep happening for me. Buddies leave their equipment at my house for extended periods of time. Other people straight up give me stuff, and on some rare occasions I luck into getting some truly awesome gear. The studio is really coming together now, and I know that all of it is due to this moment.
I got him to give me a call earlier.
Okay, that'll work. Now we wait.
Do, 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 do.